everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 14th of June 2023 and the CPI numbers are out, guys, and the inflation in US is at 4%. Now look, guys, while LinkedIn a few months ago, I did actually do a survey asking people where do they get the inflation numbers from, and surprisingly, guys, over 97% could not give the right answer. As a matter of fact, I did have an option. The correct website was the least selected by people, so it's really critical, guys, when you're looking at information. You need to look at information from the first source, and so far as inflation is concerned, guys, the inflation numbers are only available via the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So we'll very briefly talk about what the inflation numbers are and what kind of an impact it will have on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, unfortunately, guys, Decrypt and CoinDesk did provide an article stating that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum marginally pumped up. However, that is not necessarily true, and the prices have gone back once again. So we'll definitely go ahead and explain that news in detail. There's also some massive prediction done by none other than Michael Saylor. Now look, guys, personally I'm not a fan of Michael Saylor. Everything he says about Bitcoin need not 100% be true. Now there are parts of what he's saying that I agree to, and there are quite a lot of things that I disagree to. Now he has given out prediction that the price of Bitcoin and the market cap of Bitcoin will be 10x than what it is currently at. I kind of disagree to it, so we'll definitely go ahead and talk about what that is. And what he's saying is that with regulatory clarity, the price of Bitcoin in particular will definitely go 10x times. So we'll definitely go ahead and look at that. Now regarding North Korea, guys, we have some update, and looks like hackers has swiped over $100 million worth of funds. And unfortunately, guys, the response from the team is absolutely none. And this is absolutely terrible. So we'll definitely go ahead and look at that. And guys, we have some news from Germany. And looks like Germany is definitely taking leaps and bounds so far as artificial intelligence is concerned, and even Web 3.0 is concerned. And a sporting giant called Puma, they are launching Web 3 experience. So we'll definitely go ahead and talk about it. And yesterday, guys, while I was just surfing the internet, I did see news regarding artificial intelligence. Essentially what that news is that a sermon in a church was done by using ChatGPT, and it was done in Germany. So it looks like Germany is definitely taking leaps and bounds so far as technology is concerned. Now, guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, we're going to be discussing two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news is all the way from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And the news is that Blockchain Research Institute has partnered with Saudi Arabia's IR4 Labs to spur blockchain adoption in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now, this news is massive, guys, because Dr. Don Tapscott, who's the co-founder of BRI, is also part of this news. And listen, guys, Dr. Don Tapscott is probably the most influential person for making blockchain known what it is. Now, I wouldn't necessarily call him as the OG of Bitcoin, but so far as blockchain technology is concerned, the entire world is talking about blockchain technology, and that is only because of Dr. Don Tapscott. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss what the news is regarding IR4 Labs and their partnership with Prime. And the second news, guys, once again is regarding artificial intelligence. And lately, guys, I'm seeing quite a lot of news regarding artificial intelligence. And this news is regarding the Dubai Future Academy. And the news is that the Dubai Future Academy is empowering 100 government employees by unleashing potential of generative artificial intelligence to elevate government work. So we'll definitely go ahead and talk about that. So quite a lot to cover, guys, in today's episode. So let's kickstart with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee Date, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as we kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and Metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee Date has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us. From the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies, we'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee a Date. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee a Date, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and the Metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee a Day, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and the Metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE, and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE, and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee a Day aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE, and Middle East region. Now, before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Saylor Group, a luxury retailer and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and Metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT, Metaverse, and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Saylor Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now, what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now, instead of E, they have replaced it with Web3, and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Saylor Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now, if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Saylor Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse, and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since we've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, unfortunately, because the inflation numbers were out, people were anticipating that the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be on the verge of pumping up. And to be honest, guys, the inflation numbers, or as I like to say, Bidenflation numbers, are not that bad, but they are definitely not great either. If you look at mainstream media, they are portraying that the inflation numbers are going down. Now, mind you, guys, the ideal inflation numbers should be somewhere between the 1 to 2%. It is more than double of what it is. Now, as of now, the inflation number is at 4%, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But before that, we'll look at the impact it has had on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, because the global cryptocurrency market, guys, is exactly the same as yesterday at $1.06 trillion. And since the last 24 hours, it is marginally pumped up by 0.61%. Now, what I tend to do is, guys, every time there is a massive announcement, let's say regarding the inflation numbers, or when Federal Chair Jerome Powell announces the interest rate hike, what I tend to do is I tend to look at these numbers few hours before the announcement, while the announcement is being made, and few hours after the announcement. Now, what I have learned is that 3 to 4 hours after the announcement has been made, or after the inflation numbers are out, what happens is that mainstream media picks up this news, they put in their own fake narrative, and that actually drives the price either in an upwards or downwards direction. But unfortunately, this time that has not happened, and the global cryptocurrency market is completely flat, and the total cryptocurrency market volume over the last 24 hours is only at $30.77 billion, and since the last 24 hours, it has marginally gone up by 6.43%. The volume, guys, in DeFi is ridiculously low. It is only at $2.07 billion, and the total value locked, guys, is on a downtrend, and it is at $42.91 billion. Lido is still dominating with 29.50%, and so far as the total value locked is concerned, it is at $12.66 billion, and DeFi, guys, accounts for 6.62% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now let's quickly look at the 24-hour volume, and in today's episode, guys, I'm going to be breaking down and giving you a basic explanation on what Curve Finance is. Now, the number one so far as the 24-hour volume is concerned is Uniswap, and it is at $871.41 million, followed by PancakeSwap at $421.97 million, Core Finance at $195.09 million, and the number 4, guys, is Dodo at $88.21 million. And look, guys, I've been noticing this only since the last few days, is that whenever the volume of Dodo goes up, the volume of Uniswap goes up as well. When the volume of Dodo goes down, the volume of Uniswap goes down as well. And to be honest, at this point of time, I really am not sure what the correlation is. But if you're someone, guys, who's working in the DeFi space, definitely an area to check at. And the number 5th is Balancer, and this 24-hour volume is $72.15 million. And the volume, guys, of stablecoins is once again ridiculously low, only at $29.53 billion. And stablecoins, guys, still accounts for 95.95% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And Tether USDT is still leading the pack with $21.52 billion, followed by Circle USDC at $3.07 billion, and Binance BUSD, guys, the volume is ridiculously low at $2.43 billion. And if you look at Binance BUSD's market cap, it is down to $4.51 billion. Circle USDC's market cap, guys, is $28.17 billion. If you look at it, Circle USDC's market cap, and if you compare it, let's say, with the 24-hour trading volume, you can make an assessment stating that the volume is around the 10% of its market cap. But in case of Tether USDT, guys, for some odd reason, the market cap has been increasing. It has gone up to $83.49 billion, whereas the 24-hour trading volume is relatively the same at $21.52 billion. Now, what has happened, guys, since the announcement? Unfortunately, the worst currencies that were hit was surprisingly XRP, and it is down by 4.75%. Wood Network is down by 4.39%. And if you look at Wood Network for the past 7 days, it is down by well over 28.53%. And as I mentioned yesterday, guys, all the NFT and Metaverse related protocols have been having the worst week since the last 7 days. And there was anticipation that once the inflation numbers will be out, maybe we might get a breather. Unfortunately, that has not happened. Now let's quickly look at, guys, the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance. between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And after that, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking at the decentralized apps that are currently working on Ethereum. Now, it's going to be really interesting to know if you listeners are actually using the so-called decentralized apps, and that, guys, is a true use case or will give us an indication if cryptocurrencies are actually mainstream. Now, the market cap of Bitcoin is $502 billion, whereas Ethereum is ridiculously down to $209 billion. The 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin is $12.5 billion, whereas Ethereum is $5.44 billion. Now, just since the last few days, as a matter of fact, since Monday, Bitcoin's dominance has been slightly pumping up, and it is at 47.60%, and Ethereum's dominance is down to 19.90%. And Michael Saylor, in an interview with Bloomberg, did actually say that once we get regulatory clarity and once shitcoins do actually disappear, which most likely will not happen, the dominance of Bitcoin should be somewhere on the 80% mark. Now, that is an area, guys, which I 100% agree to, but we'll definitely look at that when I go ahead and discuss what his predictions are. Now, let's look at the decentralized apps that are currently working on Ethereum. And guys, what you can do is, in case you want to check this data, you can go to dapradar.com and then you can look at it at a protocol level, or you can look at it at a macro level as well. So in today's episode, let me just run through the top 3 decentralized apps that are currently working only on Ethereum. Now, mind you guys, some of them are working on other blockchain protocols as well. So let's say some of them are working on Algorand, some of them are working on Polygon Matic, some of them are working on Binance BNB chain. Now, the number one is Uniswap version 3. And if you look at the total value of assets and decentralized app smart contract, it is at $1.77 billion. The number second is Uniswap version 2. Now, mind you guys, Uniswap version 2 is currently working only via Ethereum. It is at $711.38 million. And third, guys, is OpenSea. And if you're someone who's working in the NFT space or just gotten into the cryptocurrency world post 2020, you should know that OpenSea is a marketplace that deals with NFTs. But if you look at the total value of assets and decentralized apps, guys, it is only at $62,096. So look at the difference, guys. Uniswap version 3 is number 1. The value of assets in dApp smart contract is $1.77 billion. OpenSea, despite having a terrible week for NFTs in the last 7 days, it is only at roughly around $63,000. This is absolutely scary. And guys, what you can do is via dapradar.com, you can also look at the total amount of incoming value to decentralized app smart contract. And surprisingly, guys, the volume for OpenSea is not looking good at all. Currently, it only stands at $2.87 million, whereas Uniswap version 3 is at $1.48 billion. Now, this number does make sense for Uniswap because it is a decentralized exchange, so people do actually tend to buy and sell quite a lot. Now, that thing being said, the volume in OpenSea is ridiculously low. And mind you guys, we are talking about the volume for the entire world dealing in NFTs, and OpenSea is definitely a leader. Now, there were talks about Blur overtaking OpenSea, but unfortunately, Blur protocol is definitely fallen down way below. Now, in today's episode, guys, I'm going to be giving out very basic level information on what Curve Finance is. And as of today, 14th of June, the 24-hour volume is at $195.09 million. Now, Curve Finance, the ticker symbol, guys, is called as CRV, and it is also called as Curve DAO token or Curve Decentralized Autonomous Organization token. Now, via coin market cap, it is currently ranked at number 66. Now, let me try to give out very basic level information, guys. Of course, Curve or CRV is a decentralized exchange for stablecoins that uses an automated market maker, also called as AMM, to manage liquidity. And Curve, guys, did actually launch in the first quarter of 2020. And Curve, as you know, guys, now is synonymous with decentralized finance or DeFi phenomenon and has seen a significant growth in the second half of 2020. Now, in August of 2020, Curve did launch a decentralized autonomous organization or DAO with its house token called as CRV, and the DAO uses Ethereum-based creation tool Aragon to connect multiple smart contracts used for users' deposited liquidity. But one thing to remember, guys, that issues such as governance differ from Aragon in the weighting and other prospects. Now, I won't go into details of what Curve Finance is, but so far as the founder is concerned, guys, the founder of Curve is Mikhail Aggarov, who's a Russian scientist who has various experience in cryptocurrency-related enterprise, and in 2015, he co-founded and became the CTO of NeoCypher, which was a cryptocurrency business building privacy-preserving infrastructure and protocols. And Aragon is also the founder of decentralized bank and loans network called as LoanCoin, and Curve's regular team is part of CRV allocation structure, and will receive tokens according to a 2-year vesting schedule as part of the initial launch. And an interesting thing, guys, in August of 2020, he did actually say that he overreacted by locking up a large amount of CRV tokens as a response to Yearn Finance's voting power, and he did actually award himself 71% of governance in the process. This is definitely not ideal. Now let me very briefly go ahead and explain what makes Curve Finance unique. Now Curve, guys, has gained considerable attention by following its remit as an AMM specifically for stablecoin trading. So the launch of the Darwin CRV token brought in further profitability, giving CRV's use for governance as it is awarded to users based on liquidity commitment and length of ownership. And guys, in 2020, the volume in DeFi definitely exploded, and the explosion in DeFi trading did actually ensure Curve's longevity, with AMMs turning over huge amounts of liquidity and associated user profits. Unfortunately, guys, the volume has definitely died down since 2022. Now, one thing to note is that Curve caters to anyone involved in DeFi activities such as yield farming, liquidity mining, as well as those looking to maximize returns without risk by holding notionally non-volatile stablecoins. And the platform, guys, makes money by charging a modest fee, which is paid to liquidity providers. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding Curve Finance, the website is curve.fi. Now there is another website as well, unfortunately, guys, that does not work in UAE, so most likely you might have to use a VPN or something. But the website, in order to learn more about Curve Finance, is guides.curve.fi. So let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Are you someone who's actually using Curve Finance, or is it something only used by techs and nerds? Most likely I'm leaning towards the second part. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Now the price of Bitcoin did marginally pump up, and I'm literally talking about 1% or maybe less than 1% when the announcement of interest rate was out. But if you look at it since the last 24 hours, it is down by 0.86%, and as of today, 14th of June, it stands at $25,926, and since the last 7 days, it is down by 3.01%. Ethereum is currently at $1,744. It is down by 0.40% since the last 24 hours, and since the last 7 days, it is down by 6.63%. And surprisingly, guys, Binance BNB coin is up by 3.90%, and it is currently at $247. Now, could it be possible that the reason Binance BNB coin is up is because yesterday in my podcast I did talk about Binance US. They did actually hire former members of staff from SEC, and these staff members, guys, were in a top position. I do think that could be the reason why people are under the assumption that Binance might just win the case. But if you look at the price of Binance BNB coin since the last 7 days, it is down by 10.82%. Now yesterday, guys, while the Bureau of Labor Statistics website, the Bidenflation numbers were out, and looks like the inflation is definitely going down, but it is definitely not the best. And what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. It does give you a detailed breakdown. And listen, guys, I've been seeing quite a lot of incorrect news regarding inflation, what the definition is, how it is calculated. If you actually go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics website, at the bottom of the page, it gives you very detailed and specific information on how inflation number is calculated. Now, I really wanted to discuss this in my episode, but I thought it might take well over 20 or 30 minutes. But most likely in the near future, I'll make an episode explaining what inflation is and how it is calculated. So listen, guys, if you do want to find out how inflation is calculated, what are the metrics that they use, go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics website, scroll to the bottom of the page. It gives you detailed, very compact information. Unfortunately, guys, because of this news, people were anticipating that the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will actually pump up. Now, Decrypt did actually publish an article stating that Bitcoin and Ethereum rises as inflation eases to 4%. But if you read through the article, guys, there is 99.99% information regarding the inflation, but no information regarding the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. They just have few statements stating that the price of Bitcoin did rise up by less than 2% and Ethereum rose by 0.86% or in that range. And as I said, guys, earlier, while the inflation numbers been out, what I tend to do is 3 to 4 hours before the announcement, I tend to check the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. While the announcement has been made, or while the announcement of interest rate is published on the website, I look at the price, and 3 to 4 hours after the announcement is made, I once again try to look at the price, because what happens is mainstream media puts out fake narrative, and that actually drives the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies either in the upward or downward direction. And that's one of the reasons why I always say is having a lot of information is not important. Getting information from the first sources. And so far as inflation is concerned, guys, the the first or rather the only source of information is the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. Now listen to this, guys. CoinDesk did actually publish an article. I definitely think that is clickbait because it states that the price of Bitcoin rises, and if you actually read through the article, it does not mention absolutely anything regarding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Definitely clickbait. It all talks about the interest rate hike, and this is the reason, guys. Make sure you do your own research. And talking about research, guys, there is a notorious character in the Bitcoin world, particularly making random predictions, and Michael Saylor did actually predict that Bitcoin will reach 10x once we get regulatory clarity. Now, important to note, guys, he has made several such predictions, and if you actually follow him on Twitter, he does provide quite a lot of fake news and misleading information, particularly regarding Bitcoin. Now, the reason why I say it's fake news is because the information that he gives out is 100% wrong. Things like Bitcoin has never had a downtime, which is definitely not true. Bitcoin has had several downtimes. Some of the downtime has gone for well over 7 hours. He also said that 1 Bitcoin is equal to 1 Bitcoin. Once again, not true. The fungibility aspect of Bitcoin is nowhere in comparison to Monero. Now, mind you guys, I absolutely like Bitcoin, but I definitely do not agree to what Michael Saylor is saying. Now, in an interview with Bloomberg, he did actually say that regulatory clarity is going to drive Bitcoin adoption by eliminating the confusion and anxiety that has been holding back institutional investors. So what I'd recommend you to do is, guys, nonetheless, whether you like him or not, via his Twitter account, he did post a video of his interview. I believe it is roughly around 4 to 6 minutes long. Make sure that you watch it because some of the things that he says does make a lot of sense, because he did actually say that Bitcoin is universally acknowledged as a digital commodity. I kind of 100% agree to it. And another statement that he actually said is that the next Bitcoin is Bitcoin, and I 100% agree to it. But other than that, guys, there's a lot of fake news and incorrect information that he often provides regarding Bitcoin, and this is because, guys, he only got introduced to Bitcoin in 2020. And most likely, guys, he's still in the learning process. Now, guys, let's discuss some unfortunate news, and this is regarding atomic wallets and how it is connected to North Korea. So the news is that North Korean hackers swiped $100 million from atomic wallet users, and according to Elliptic, which is an analytical firm, they are stating that an estimated 5,500 crypto wallets have been affected by the attack. And Cointelegraph, guys, they have reported that Atomic Wallet, which is a non-custodial decentralized wallet, has been hit with a staggering exploit, leading to users reporting losses of the entire cryptocurrency portfolios. This unforeseen breach, guys, has sent shockwaves through the crypto community, as Atomic Wallet's fundamental premise, guys, relies on users assuming full responsibility for storing the asset securely. Now, guys, this begs this big question. Do you prefer a centralized exchange or a distributed or decentralized exchange where you are in full control of your assets? In case of a hack like this, your funds are completely gone. Now, mind you, guys, something similar did actually happen in Binance. I believe it was in 2018 or 19, and Binance did actually give all the funds back to the customers, and that's where they have this hashtag, funds are safer. Now, mind you, guys, these are the dangers when you talk about decentralized finance, because who's going to take responsibility? The software developers of the wallet do not have any legal responsibility, because what they have done is they have made it completely decentralized. And one thing to note, guys, that the losses from Atomic Wallet heist has now skyrocketed to $100 million, which compromised an estimated 5,500 crypto wallets. Now, this is where it gets really sad, guys. Atomic Wallet has yet to provide any explanation regarding the root cause of these substantial losses, and this has led to mourning concern for frustrated users who are anxiously waiting clarification. But when you talk about decentralization or distributed nature, who is going to provide customer service? And I'm not sure if legally anyone is required in order to go out and provide any response as well. And mind you, guys, this is one of the reasons why I always say when you talk about decentralization or distributed nature, the customer service is going to be absolutely pathetic, because no centralized entity is involved or rather responsible in providing customer service or after-sales service, or in case of hacks like this, offer any support as well. Now, guys, let's discuss some news regarding Germany. And yesterday, guys, Puma launched its 3D Metaverse experience called as Black Station, which is an experiential home for product drops built to provide unbridled access for Puma Pass NFT holders. And the experience, guys, is for everyone to explore, but only those possessing the RB tokens airdropped to Puma Pass holders can purchase a digital sneaker called as Rule Breaker and claim 2 digital wearables. Now, at the time of writing, guys, the RB tokens currently were hovering at 0.0125 Ethereum. Now, if you do want to find out more information, and if you're a sneakerhead, particularly, let's say, dealing with Puma, you definitely need to check it out. And if you want to look at the experience, it is at blackstation.puma.com. Now, this news is interesting, guys, because I do have another podcast series called as the Race Based Podcast, where I talk about fitness, I talk about obstacle course race and hybrid fitness, and one of the biggest events so far as fitness is concerned is called as High Rocks, and Puma, guys, is actually one of the main sponsors for High Rocks. Now, if you're someone who's into fitness, you definitely need to check out High Rocks because there is a massive event coming up on the 2nd of September at the World Trade Center. Now, guys, let's discuss some news regarding Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. Now, the first news is all the way from Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the news is that Blockchain Research Institute partners with Saudi Arabia I4 Labs to spur blockchain adoption in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So let me try to give out bits and pieces of information because the Blockchain Research Institute in the Middle East, also called as BRI-ME, has partnered with IR4 Labs, which is a Saudi-based company focused on disruptive technologies like blockchain and artificial intelligence. And the partnership, guys, aims to promote and expand the adoption of blockchain technology in Saudi Arabia and the MENA region, and the signing ceremony took place at the headquarters of the Center of Digital Entrepreneurship, also called as SCORE, in Riyadh, under the auspices of Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Communication and IT, also called as MCIT. And Dr. Don Tapscott, guys, is the co-founder of RBI and a renowned global blockchain expert. He did actually attend the ceremony from Canada. Now look, guys, if you want to find out everything about blockchain technology, there's only one person I can think of as responsible for making blockchain what it is, and that person is Dr. Don Tapscott and even his son, Alex Tapscott. So do your own research about Dr. Don Tapscott. Now going back to the news, representatives from various Saudi governmental and private entities, including MCIT, Communication Space and Technology Commission, Saudi Aramco Entrepreneurship, Plug and Play, and Canadian Embassy were present, and BRI-ME and I4 Labs will collaborate on blockchain technology research, consulting, and solutions development. They will also cooperate in organizing blockchain events, training programs, and workshops in Saudi Arabia and the MENA region. And Majid Al-Fafifi, who is the CEO of I4 Labs, expressed pride in the partnership and its potential to strengthen Saudi Arabia's position in the blockchain industry. And Mohammed Al-Khandri, the Chief Technology Officer of I4 Labs, highlighted the significance of partnering with the world's largest blockchain think tank for advancing the blockchain adoption in the region. And Ali Dudkas, who is the managing partner and founder of Blockchain Research ME, expressed pride in joining forces with I4 Labs and the shared mission of fostering blockchain technology interest in Saudi Arabia. And both the firms, guys, announced the first upcoming event called as the Web3 Summit, which is scheduled to take place on the 19th of October 2023 in Riyadh, and it is called as the Web3 Summit, Blockchain and Beyond. And the summit, guys, will cover topics such as blockchain applications in oil and gas, banking and finance, supply chain and logistics, smart cities, and women in Web3. And Dr. Don Tapscott will deliver a 45-minute keynote speech, making his first appearance in Saudi Arabia. And the partnership, guys, aims to promote collaboration, research, events, and consultations to support blockchain technology growth in the country. And the Web3 Summit will serve as a platform for knowledge sharing and networking in the field of blockchain. And the event, guys, will contribute to the advancement of blockchain adoption across various sectors in the Saudi Arabia. And this partnership, guys, is expected to have a significant impact on the development and utilization of blockchain technology in the kingdom and the MENA region. And the collaboration signifies a milestone in the progress of blockchain adoption in the region. And, guys, a partnership will combine the expertise and resources of both organizations to drive innovation and explore the potential of blockchain technology in various industries. So definitely positive news. And, guys, I've been saying this over and over again. Looks like Saudi Arabia is definitely taking the lead, not just in the blockchain space, but in technology and in artificial intelligence as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see, let's say, in the next 3 to 5 years down the line, who is the leader. Will it be the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, or will it be United Arab Emirates? Now, guys, we have some positive news regarding artificial intelligence, and this is the second news where the Dubai Future Academy is empowering 100 government employees by unleashing potential for generative artificial intelligence to elevate government work. So let me give you some bits and pieces of information regarding this news, because the Dubai Future Academy's initiative by the Dubai Future Foundation will train 100 government employees to harness the potential of generative artificial intelligence in their work. And the training program, guys, aims to equip participants with the necessary skills and tools to effectively utilize generative AI in government operations. And the courses will cover strategic planning, information technology, research laboratories, labs and innovation within Dubai government entities, and participants will learn about the fundamentals of generative artificial intelligence, its application, and the importance of safety measures and regulations. I'm really curious to see, guys, if there are other countries who are doing the same. But so far as I think, Dubai as a city and UAE as a country might be the only country that is taking proactive steps in educating the staff, and the program aims to solidify Dubai's position as a leader in adopting transformative technologies. And the training, guys, will focus on 7 key pillars, providing a comprehensive understanding of generative artificial intelligence, and participants will explore applications, successful use case, and leverage artificial intelligence tools like ChatGPT for establishing new companies and driving growth in creative sectors. And, guys, the importance of developing legislations and policies to keep pace with technological advancements will also be emphasized. And the Deputy CEO of Dubai Future Foundation highlighted the significance of equipping government teams with generative artificial intelligence skills, and the initiative supports Dubai's vision of becoming a leading city in the technology-driven government work. And, guys, the Dubai Future Academy has a brilliant office in Emirates Tower, and I very specifically remember, guys, in 2016, that was the time they used to have an event on Bitcoin, and it was called as the Next Money Series. So Dubai Future Academy is definitely very proactive so far as technology is concerned, and the leadership team, guys, aims to embrace the latest tools of future technology to develop services, products, and solutions. And the initiative will empower government workers and contribute to Dubai's leadership in mastering new technologies. And the Dubai Center for Artificial Intelligence, launched by Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, will assist government entities in deploying future technologies. So definitely brilliant stuff. And the Dubai Future Foundation, Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, also called as DEWA, Dubai Media Council, and Dubai Digital Authority will oversee the implementation of the DCAI's goals. Collaboration with relevant authorities will ensure that the successful realization of the center's objectives are met, and the initiative, guys, aligns with Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum's directives to apply artificial intelligence technologies in various sectors. And the generative artificial intelligence sector is expected to grow from $10 billion in 2022 to $110 billion by 2030, with a compound annual growth of 34.3%. And to be honest, guys, this is only because of ChatGPT, isn't it? And the training program aims to prepare government employees for the expansion and advancements in generative artificial intelligence technology, and the establishment of the DCAI, guys, reinforces Dubai's commitment to innovation and staying at the forefront of technological advancements. So definitely positive news. So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee Rate and Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, guys, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB, listening to the Ask Me Anything series, and I have a question by Mali who asks, why do you say negative things about Michael Saylor? Now look, Mali, so far as Michael Saylor is concerned and his talks regarding Bitcoin, they're absolutely rubbish. Now if you follow his Twitter account, he does provide a lot of incorrect and misleading information. Now let me tell you the reason why he's doing that. Look, when you talk about Bitcoin, over 90% of the supply is already in the hands of billionaires like Michael Saylor, millionaires, celebrities, and early adopters. Now, the reason why Michael Saylor is harping so much about Bitcoin, the answer is pretty simple. When he does that, he's trying to create the demand for Bitcoin, and once the demand for Bitcoin increases, his existing net worth in Bitcoin increases. That is the only reason why. He's nowhere trying to help people, and Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy accumulating so much of Bitcoin is definitely not ideal for the Bitcoin ecosystem. And Mali, what would happen, let's say, if Michael Saylor decides that he no longer wants Bitcoin and he wants to go out and sell all of his Bitcoins? The market will completely dump, and this is one of the dangers about having centralization or accumulation of Bitcoin. Now you could argue that Bitcoin is all about capitalism. Everyone is free to own as much as they want. Now that is what I agree to. Now some of the points that he says regarding Bitcoin are outright nonsense. He's actually saying is that Bitcoin is the most powerful energy, and he's saying some other nonsense as well. One thing which I did mention earlier as well, he did actually state that Bitcoin has never had a downtime. Now, he did actually say that when Solana had a downtime. Now, I kind of agree to the points that he said regarding Solana, but he needs to look at the facts because Bitcoin has had several downtimes. One of the biggest downtime when Bitcoin blockchain did actually go down by well over 7 hours. He also mentioned that 1 Bitcoin is equal to 1 Bitcoin. This is 100% incorrect because Bitcoin is sold at a premium, especially called as virgin Bitcoins or newly minted coins. So miners do actually sell them at a premium, and this is the whole nature of fungibility and non-fungibility. This is something which he's not aware about. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of Michael Saylor. Another reason why I'm not a fan of Michael Saylor is because Mali, he is a part of Crypto Council Innovation. So he's in a position where in the near future he might be able to drive the Bitcoin mining industry, let's say, maybe switching from proof of work to proof of stake. And listen to this, Mali. Michael Saylor's company, that is MicroStrategy, is heavily owned by BlackRock, and BlackRock is, if not one of the biggest world companies with well over $13 trillion of assets under management. And BlackRock is actually working with Bitcoin mining firms where they are focusing only on renewable energy. Now, could it be possible that directly or indirectly, Michael Saylor will have an influence in the Bitcoin mining industry where he's actually focusing them to focus more on renewable energy? And these are certain dangers that I do not like, particularly regarding Michael Saylor. But other than that, what I really like is that he does have a free educational program where absolutely anyone in the world can gain free education, and it does involve Bitcoin and quite a lot of other things as well. But other than that, I definitely don't have absolutely anything positive to say regarding Michael Saylor. So those were the questions, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area27u1.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And guys, remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto and Coffee Date, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee Date works is we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other 2 news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.